illustration is a message to young people.
What do we want to protect?
You could probably lose one of your family members.
Not all the infected show symptoms.
We're not alone. We must come together.
Wearing her mask.
Wearing a mask is the most important thing.
Avoid touching face.
And keeping a distance of at least 6 feet.
Always sanitize.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds.
Social distance.
Wearing your mask is caring too.
To keep staying strong and respectful.
New day coming that's full of possibilities.
There's an us in coronavirus.
Spreading art, awareness, and aloha.
Aloha everyone. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Jasmine.
And my name is Feng.
And we are honored to be hosting the event tonight. First, we want to say a huge thank you to everyone for joining us tonight for our virtual art exhibition, where we will showcase how young adults in Hawaii encouraged, promoted, and practiced COVID-19 safety guidelines.
We especially would like to thank our participants for their amazing entries in our contest, as well as those who voted for their favorite art piece. COVID-19 has affected many of us, and young adults, like ourselves, are the main asymptomatic carriers. However, the young adults in Hawaii are documenting everything they've seen during the pandemic. The sadness, being laid off, a little bit of everything, including the people being stuck at home, into their artwork. Thank you so much for showing that you care and for spreading the positivity during this difficult time. We, just like you, believe that art can bring us together, and together means we can save lives.
We would also like to give our sincere appreciation to the Philippine Medical Association of Hawaii, or PMAH for short, for sponsoring this contest. PMAH is one of Hawaii's premier medical organizations whose mission is to advocate for the underserved. Seeing how Filipinos are disproportionately affected by COVID-19, one of their goals was to join in the fight against COVID-19.
Therefore, PMAH Outreach was born. We are young adults who are interested in many career aspects of healthcare. Being mentored by the physicians in the PMAH Foundation, we are thriving to spread the COVID-19 safety awareness. As a team, our mission was to think of a creative way to slow the spread of COVID-19 in Hawaii. Our projects wanted to not only branch out into the community, but also to see the tangible action taken by our peers. And that is how our contest started.
So it goes without saying that we are so proud of all that you have done in your part to ensure a safe Hawaii community. To the participants, thank you so much for being role models during this difficult time. So, without further ado, let's get going with the program by hearing a few words from our PMAH representatives. First up, we have Dr. Hazel Abinsai, the treasurer of PMAH, a pediatrician, and beloved mentor for many of us at PMAH Outreach.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us during our art competition virtual exhibit hosted by the Philippine Medical Association Hawaii Outreach Program. My name is Dr. Hazel Abinsai, pediatrician and current PMAH treasurer and mentorship chair. When COVID first started in Hawaii, my colleagues and I became very concerned when we learned that Filipinos made up a disproportionate amount of the infected patients. When we looked further into the demographics, the young adult population, ages 18 to 29, were the most to get infected, but were the least to get the most sick. Thus, we reached out to our young adults to help us create campaigns to spread awareness to the young adult community. Thus, the PMAH Outreach Program was born. From TikToks to memes to debunking myths and many more ideas, our students have volunteered their time and talents to help us fight COVID. 3 of our students came up with the amazing idea of hosting this art competition. So thank you to Jasmine Padamada, Fang Yuen, and Ling Yuen for your efforts and commitment to our campaign. To those of you watching tonight who submitted entries, we want to say maraming salamat for sharing your talents with us. We were blown away by your skills, artistry, attention to detail, and thoughtfulness that went into all of your work. Thank you to those who voted for supporting these gifted artists and for our organization. Thank you to the judges you will also get to meet later on. To the young adults out there, the doctors of PMAH want you to know that your everyday actions do matter. We feel it every time we see someone coming into the emergency room feeling short of breath, when our nurses are comforting affected patients in the hospital because their families aren't allowed to be with them, or when we have to tell families over their phone that their loved one has lost their battle with COVID. Whether you believe it or not, your actions has a ripple effect through our community. So please stay diligent at all times. Don't let your guard down, even with those that you feel comfortable the most with. Wash your hands, mask up, stay 6 feet apart. If you are feeling sick, assume you have COVID unless proven otherwise. Isolate yourself and don't be afraid to get tested. Please don't go to school or work risking exposing others if you feel sick or know that you have been exposed to someone else with COVID recently. What you do every day does make a difference. What you do today, whether you realize it or not, could prevent someone else more vulnerable than us from going to the hospital with COVID. On with the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Binsai, for your word of encouragement. Next up, we have Dr. Morel Bear, the president of PMAH, a surgeon and an inspiring figure for many of us in PMAH outreach.
My name is Dr. Good evening. My name is Dr. Morel Bear, and I am current president of the Philippine Medical Association of Hawaii. Firstly, I'd like to thank all the participants for participating in our first ever PMAH COVID-19 Awareness Art Contest. Having personally reviewed all your submission, I am totally excited and blown away from all the work you've done. Secondly, I'd like to thank Dr. Binsai and our awesome pre-medical students for putting this project together. This has been ambitious in its concept, and we were able to do it in a short amount of time, so thank you for that. Dr. Binsai talked about COVID-19 in our communities, but I wanted to talk about art. Art is important, and I don't think art gets talked about a lot in our medical circles. Art, whether it be the written form, through media, through music, through dance, is important. It takes thought, it takes time, it takes creativity, and also to put all that together in whatever media you're going to use takes a lot of heart. So for all of you who've submitted submissions to our contest, I get it. I understand you put your heart into whatever you created, and I thank you for that. Thank you for sharing a part of yourself with your art. Now, this is a tricky subject to have made an art project on, so I am extremely pleasantly surprised about the submissions we got. You know, your art elicits emotion, it elicits thought, it makes us think twice about what actually is going on in our community, and it tells us something about you and what you care about. So I am really excited that all of you took the time to participate, because this is raising awareness in your age group who are the highest risk of transmission and asymptomatic carriers, and you are communicating with your peers. You may not realize it, but everything you've done is special. You guys are special. The amount of work and heart you've put in every media that you've made makes a difference. It makes people think twice about what they're doing and what they can do for the community. So I commend you guys for doing that. You might not think you're making a difference, but you are, because I see it, I feel it. When I reviewed all your submissions, I was like, wow. You know, I felt what you were trying to portray, and it was very interesting. And I'm sure that people who are viewing your submissions, voted on your submissions, and for our judges today, they felt that way too. So thank you. As young people, sometimes you think you can't make a difference, but I argue that that's wrong. All of us here make a difference in some little way. And by you taking the time to just do this art project, whether you think it's for money, it's much more than that. It's for a bigger purpose. You may not see it now, you might realize it later, but everything you've done is important. And to my pre-medical students, everything you're doing now is important. It's important for our community, it's important to Hawaii, it's important to the world. So I want you to realize that you have the opportunity to change the world in little ways and in big ways. Set your sights larger. There's a big world out there. I want you to keep going, keep pushing, keep dreaming, and find mentors who will help you figure out your dream and make it happen. So on behalf of PMAH and our board and our pre-medical committee and Dr. Abinsai, I thank you for your participation. And I hope to see great things from you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bear, for your kind words. Next, we would like to get started with the exhibition of the participants' artwork. Just as a reminder, artists had to submit their traditional or digital artwork along with a 1-minute video explaining their inspiration behind it. We will first display those in the traditional category, then go on to the digital category. So sit back, relax, be proud of all that you have accomplished, and cheer on for your favorite artwork.
Hello, and this is my lovely piece of art. Life in a pandemic has certainly changed our way of life, and I thought to draw what that feels like. The way I see it, COVID feels like the sun. Its light is always so present in our daily lives, and now so is COVID. It's why I drew the bacteria as the sun, casting down its rays onto the world below. The faceless figures that you see standing behind the boy in the mask represent COVID as well. As on any surface, the bacteria and germs can linger, potentially catching on to you. They're like shadows. The boy in the mask you see is following at least 2 important safety guidelines: wearing a mask and keeping a distance of at least 6 feet, as shown with the indications of the arrows. The background of the drawing is simply a normal place. It could be a park, or a beach, or even a simple sidewalk. It's a normal day because life is still the same, we just can't see when they'll strike.
Hi everyone, my name is Halo. The drawing that I've submitted is called Please Self-Quarantine. I've made it with micro felt tip pen, pencil, and charcoal. And then the picture is kind of representing somebody keeping Corona to himself, because it's a fun way I attach the bottle to his mask and whatnot. And then I have strapped on him some Lysol, some hand sanitizer, just for reminders that either you are sick or you're not sick, that you always sanitize beforehand and afterwards, no matter where you are, whether it be the grocery store, or you're just going outside and you touch something, just try to keep as clean as possible. And then of course he's wearing his mask. Let's all remember to wear our masks. But yeah, so thank you guys for putting on this competition. I hope everyone does well. Bye. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lara. I'm 24. I'm a student nurse and I live in Honolulu. So this is my drawing. I use colored pencils and pastels to create it. It is a nurse and she is wearing traditional ifugao beading and cloth. She is wearing her mask, and I wanted to point out that because although she is embodying the beauty in our culture as a Filipino, she is wearing her mask, which is practicing safety guidelines. And you can go ahead and see that she's just relaxing in the light, and it almost looks like she's encapsulated in a gentle flame, which I did on purpose to represent the necessary hard work and labor that nurses put into the workforce at a time like this. And it was a lot of fun. Thank you.
It took a pandemic for our society to ask ourselves, what do we want to protect?
Regardless of one's stance on COVID-19, we cannot deny it is a journey. I wanted to capture that process of finding oneself in this clouded environment by first putting the individual together piece by piece. Through understanding ourselves, we learn what and who we are willing to protect, therefore reminding us of the growth we're meant to strive for. I've had some challenging times, but was able to remind myself that I'm a proud Filipina woman, born and raised in Hawaii. Masks are a small physical representation of what we're willing to do to protect our home, our people, and our cultures.
Hello, my name is Kristen Lau, and I am a second-year undergraduate at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, majoring in public health. I was inspired to create this drawing called Safe with Aloha to encourage others to take part in the simplicity of taking precautionary measures regarding COVID-19. Safe with Aloha is titled to show that you can spread aloha in a safe way by advocating for COVID-19 safety. I illustrated the COVID-19 safety by drawing out the 6 feet distancing, wearing your mask, washing your hands for 20 seconds, as well as a few things that you can learn to do while you're at home. If we can continue to spread aloha in a safe manner during this pandemic, we'll be able to get through COVID-19 as a community and as the state of Hawaii. Mahalo.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelsey and this is my art piece called Wearing is Caring. The title is a play on the saying that sharing is caring. I added those words on the hibiscus on the top right corner, and beneath it it says that wearing your mask is caring too. So in that sense, if you want to show people that you care, like your loved ones in your community, not only will you share with them, but you'll also wear your mask. When I thought of the theme youth versus COVID-19, I immediately thought of a childhood tea party. So in my drawing, I included a Hawaii-style tea party where a young girl is sharing tea with her loved ones and her stuffed animals. All the tea party guests are wearing their masks and practicing social distancing. I hope that my piece reminds everyone to continue wearing their masks to help stop the spread of COVID-19. Thank you for viewing my art and learning more about the meaning behind it. Have a great day, and don't forget, wearing is caring.
The inspiration behind my poster is my family, and I live in a traditional Filipino home where I live with like my aunties, uncles, cousins, parents, siblings, and there's about 18 of us. I put mask on each of my family members in my poster to spread awareness that using a mask in public or even going out is important because if one of our family members gets sick, then pretty much all of us get sick, and yeah, that's not a fun time or fun thing to be around, because you could probably lose one of your family members. So yeah, thank you.
Based on the data currently available, the spread of coronavirus is primarily contributed to young adults, many of whom are asymptomatic. The goal of this poster is to reach out to the young adults and reinforce the importance of safe practices to control the spread of coronavirus to others, and particularly to our kupunas, since they're the most at risk. Some methods of safe practices include washing hands often and avoiding crowds in enclosed areas. This picture shows an alternative method of socializing via video chatting platforms. Other ways of safe practices include wearing masks when around others, avoid touching face with unwashed hands, and monitoring your health daily for COVID-19 symptoms. This picture shows a woman doing a temperature check. By following these safe practices, young adults can contribute to decreasing the spread of coronavirus and help to keep our community safe.
My name is Krishna Bayudan. This is my entry for the PMAH Outreach COVID-19 Art Contest. I decided to draw one of the ways COVID-19 has impacted my daily life. Due to COVID-19, visitations to my Nana in her nursing home have been suspended. Illustrated here is my sister and I video chatting our Nana. Though I do miss her hugs and kisses, I am at peace knowing that she is safe and that we still have a way to show that we love her. I hope this brings awareness to people that COVID-19 has single-handedly affected each and every one of us. Therefore, it is a collective duty to obey national, state, and county guidelines for efforts in containing the spread. Thank you.
As many of you may know, one disease is currently spreading around the world in a viral manner, COVID-19. But there is in fact another, fake news. Unfortunately, fake news spreads so fast in times of uncertainty, so make sure to do your part in being responsible. In our digital age, we can share information via Instagram stories, Twitter posts, and more within a matter of seconds. Verify every news source and information before sharing. You can also use your social media platforms to influence others to engage in helpful behaviors, such as social distancing, wearing a mask, and washing your hands. Continue to be a source of calm during this storm. And remember, there is an us in coronavirus.
I drew a woman that is looking at a foggy mirror surrounded by the novel coronavirus, in which I portrayed as a visible black dust, because in real life, the coronavirus cannot be seen nor touched. The woman is showing signs of regret, in which I portrayed through her eyes. The only thing that's preventing her from getting infected is the face mask. Or fighting an invisible enemy is a phrase that many have heard of to describe our fight against the incessant effects of the novel coronavirus. The only way to feel its effects is when you're already infected. And the scary part being infected is that not all the infected show symptoms, in which we call asymptomatic. But one way of preventing and protecting others from getting infected is using face coverings such as face shields and face masks. Wearing face coverings not just for our sake but for others as well. It is also a sign of respect for others, such as the elderly, those who are autoimmune compromised, and children. Therefore, we should protect.
Hello everyone, my name is Stacy, and my use to COVID-19 drawing is inspired by things I've been seeing on social media. And on social media, I've been seeing a lot of information posted about COVID-19, but others, I see a lot of youth partying or hang out with their friends. Some people think the pandemic is not serious and that it's over already, but it's still happening. And if you want it to stop, please wear a mask, social distance, and if you can, please take a COVID-19 test if you're working or out in public in social places. And things I like to do at home to keep myself entertained is find new music and also entertaining myself with TikTok videos as I'm using for my video for this contest. Thank you. Please follow COVID-19 regulations.
Along with wearing a mask and practicing proper social distancing, frequent and thorough hand washing is one of the best ways to prevent the spread of COVID-19. I personally found it really fascinating that something so ordinary and mundane can protect us so well against such a transmissible virus. I especially found it interesting that the soap coupled with the mechanical friction from your hands actually kills the virus by destroying its outer membrane. This one simple task that we all do, or should be doing every day, has such a huge impact on these tiny forces of nature, and I wanted to express that through my piece, which is why I drew the virus to look as though it is cracking beneath the surface of the water. Additionally, I wanted to portray a sense of togetherness in this fight against COVID, which is why I decided to position the hands as they are, gently cupped together. Just as we must come together and collaborate on this effort if we hope to stop the spread of COVID.
This is me, and this disposable mask was my muse. The folds of the mask reminds me of the ocean's water, so that's the ocean, and that's someone swimming in it. It's really unnecessary to wear a mask when swimming, but if you need to throw your mask away, please malamada aina and dispose of it properly in a trash bin. Swimming is a type of activity that can be great for your physical and mental health. The hairline of this outer person is supposed to resemble the outline of Diamond Head. Going on hikes was my form of exercise before this pandemic, but now I find myself taking outdoor walks to clear my mind. The sun symbolizes body temperature, and a fever is one of the symptoms for COVID-19, so if you think you've contracted this disease, you should definitely speak with a healthcare provider ASAP. That's where the stethoscope comes in. I decorated that with a bunch of my mom's succulents to mimic a lei and represent the people that adopted new hobbies during our stay-at-home orders. More time at home meant more time for my mom to tend to our plant babies. A hobby that I picked back up during these unprecedented times was arts and crafts. Here's to spreading art, awareness, and aloha.
My artwork was inspired by something I learned recently, that it is essential and pertinent for asymptomatic people to wear a mask, not for their own sake, but for those around them. Humans are social creatures, so they are going to meet up regardless of the pandemic. Masks reduce the spread of COVID to others, because even if you are asymptomatic, doesn't mean others are. Besides social distancing, wearing a mask is the most important thing to prevent and reduce the spread of COVID. My poster has warnings and advice about COVID all over it, with wearing a mask being the central theme. My art piece was inspired by 90s health campaign posters, because I really wanted my art piece to be fun, because the world is already grim enough, and people are more likely to remember or listen to advice that isn't presented in such a serious do-or-die way.
My name is Liana Stein, and you are watching a quick time-lapse of my drawing entry towards encouraging COVID-19 safety. During this whole pandemic, I've been spending my time in quarantine working on improving my art. Although I miss seeing my friends and family, I'm very grateful that technology lets me see and talk to them whenever I want while safely partaking in social distancing. My drawing was inspired by all the little things I've been doing while in quarantine. Doing things like playing video games, tidying up around the house, and I've even made plans to start making cute merchandise of things I draw, like stickers and posters. I also have been making sure to stay healthy and sanitize my surroundings, as well as keep my mask clean so I always have one ready. A lot of things have happened this year, but it's very important to remember not only your own safety, but others as well, so staying clean and wearing a mask keeps everyone safe. We all have to keep staying strong and respectful so we can beat COVID-19 as soon as possible. Stay safe, everyone.
Aloha, my name is Miss Diana Victorino, and mahalo for the opportunity to participate in the PMAH art contest. My inspiration for this piece comes from the phrase kalahiki ola, meaning the dawning of a new day. I know for myself that this time has been incredibly challenging, and I just wanted to create a fun and uplifting reminder that we're not alone. For instance, the lei incorporates the official flowers and colors of each island, symbolizing the part each of us have to play by working together to fight the spread of COVID-19. Some safety measures showcased include wearing a mask and distancing when around others, washing hands and disinfecting surfaces, making the choice to stay at home, and also discovering new opportunities to enjoy hobbies. I hope this piece encourages you not just to be safe, but also that there's hope for our future. There's a lot more keeping us together than the physical space that keeps us apart right now. There's a new day coming that's full of possibilities. Kalahiki ola. Mahalo.
In this youth versus COVID-19 illustration, the youth aspect is captured by deliberately choosing baby breath flowers. They symbolize love and sincerity, strong emotions that are necessary during this trying time, because ultimately what will help stop the spread of this virus is the compassion we have for our families, friends, and members of our communities. We all have suffered tremendous loss and made incredible sacrifices. Some are unemployed, some are unable to return to school. Healthcare and essential workers have been working tirelessly for months, and others have felt the devastating pain of losing a loved one. Keeping this in mind, we each have a special motivation for wanting to put an end to COVID-19. This illustration is a message to young people that we are the ones who will lead the way against COVID by first being motivated by humanity. Our mission is simple. When we use our platforms to spread accurate information and words of support, when we choose to stay at home, socially distance, and put on our masks, we do so unhesitatingly so the message of sincerity can empower us to stop the spread and move forward responsibly.
No matter how many times we have watched these videos, we are still mesmerized by the amount of talented young adults we have on our islands. We hope that everyone watching at home enjoyed it as much as we did, and we hope that you all have the chance to vote for your favorite artwork. To reiterate, the top 3 voted entries get to move on to the final round of judging. But before we go into announcing winners, we would love to introduce our judges.
First up, we have pediatrician Dr. Mary Rose Mino. Next up, we have ENT Dr. Christopher Regala and his wife, scientific illustrator and fiber artist, Mrs. Michelle Swangle Regala. Lastly, we have artistic surgeon Dr. Cecily Wang. The judges critiqued the top 3 artwork based on creativity, artistic skill, and their inspiration behind it.
So without further ado, the moment you all have been waiting for, we will now announce the winners for the PMAH COVID-19 Art and Video Contest. First up, for the traditional categories, in 3rd place, we have, drumroll, Please Self-Quarantine by Halo.
Yay! Congratulations! In 2nd place, we have Social Distance by Laura.
Woo-hoo! In 1st place, can I have everyone attention, please? We have Fighting Myself by Ella. Congratulations, Ella! And congratulations for all of those who placed in the top 3 for the traditional categories. Thank you.
Now we will announce the winners for the digital category. May I have a drum roll, please? In 3rd place, we have Hand Washing by Michaela.
Congratulations. In 2nd place, we have Wear Your Mask by Trazil.
Yay! Good job. And in 1st place, we have, may I get everyone's attention, please? We have Regret by Rod.
Yay!
Okay. Congratulations for those who placed in the top 3 for the digital category. Finalists, keep an eye out for an email regarding how you will receive your prize.
Once again, we would like to give our sincere appreciation for your participations, whether you were a contestant, participated in the voting process, or are here to watch our virtual showcase. We would like to now take this time to honor all of our contestants. You have truly inspired us with your beautiful artworks while spreading COVID-19 safety awareness. Thank you.
As a token of our appreciation for your time and talent, we would like to award each participant with a certificate. So contestants, also keep an eye out for an email containing your e-certificate. Also, special shout out to our PMAH outreach. Thank you guys so much for your help in advertising the contest. We could not have made it without you. You guys rock.
We love you. Before we end tonight, we would like to follow the example shown by our contestant and remind everyone to sanitize your surroundings regularly, social distance, and wear a mask. Mahalo for your time, and we hope that our contest brought you a touch of joy, and we trust that you continue to do your best during this difficult time.
Also, remember to follow PMAH on their Facebook page at Philippine Medical Association of Hawaii and their Instagram at PMA Hawaii to check out the rest of the PMAH outreach projects.
For those who would like to stay back, we will be showing a slideshow of our entries one more time. Mahalo, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you for joining us. We love you.
Wait, did we do it at the same time? I think I did it earlier.